Did she mention Claude, the holy man he gave the mountain to?
Yeah. Mrs. Sampson thinks the old man is running with another woman.
20 weird facts about Harper you didn't know. Before we begin, understand this. Harper is not a detective movie. It's a film about a man who keeps doing his job even after the world stops caring how it's done. This is a story about professionalism without reward, morality without applause, and what happens when decency survives in an indecent era. Let's begin. Fact 1. Harper was Paul Newman's quiet rebellion against stardom. By 1966, Paul Newman was a star. Handsome, famous, bankable. But Harper wasn't designed to make him bigger. It was designed to make him smaller. Lou Harper is tired, sarcastic, underpaid, alone. Newman wanted to step away from heroic roles and play someone who endures instead of conquers, a man whose victories are temporary and whose principles cost him money. Harper isn't glamorous. That was the point. Fact 2. The film was based on a novel that treated detectives as disposable. The movie is based on Ross Macdonald's novel, The Moving Target. In the book, private detectives aren't romantic figures. They're tools, used by the wealthy, discarded when inconvenient, blamed when things go wrong. The film preserves that bitterness. Harper isn't respected for his intelligence. He's tolerated for his usefulness. The mystery matters less than who gets hurt solving it. Harper solves crimes without ever being in control. This is rare in detective films. Harper never dominates the narrative. He's constantly reacting to lies, to money, to people protecting themselves. He's late, he's misinformed, he's manipulated, and yet he keeps going. Harper isn't powerful, he's persistent. The film quietly suggests that persistence, not brilliance, is what morality looks like in a broken system. The wealthy characters are the film's true antagonists. There's no single villain in Harper. Instead, there's comfort without conscience. The rich characters aren't evil, they're insulated. They don't feel consequences. They outsource messes. They hire people like Harper to clean things quietly, then complain about the bill. The film doesn't attack crime, it attacks indifference. Harper isn't fighting criminals, he's fighting apathy with a notebook and a bruised jaw. Harper's humor is defense, not charm. Harper jokes constantly, but the jokes aren't confidence, they're armor. Sarcasm keeps people at a distance. Humor hides frustration. Wit replaces hope. Newman plays Harper as a man who already knows how this ends and keeps working anyway. That's why the humor never turns light. It keeps the darkness manageable.
Fact 6. Harper never gets paid what he's worth. On purpose. In most detective films, the hero negotiates big fees. Harper doesn't. He's constantly underpaid, shortchanged, or stiffed entirely. Clients delay payment. Rich people argue over invoices. Everyone treats his labor as expendable. This isn't oversight. It's commentary. The film makes a quiet point. Integrity is expensive, and the world doesn't reimburse it. Harper keeps working not because it pays well, but because stopping would mean admitting the system won. Fact 7. Every relationship in Harper's life is temporary. Harper doesn't build lasting connections, not with clients, not with lovers, not even with allies. Every interaction is transactional, conditional, or interrupted by lies. People come to Harper when they need something and vanish once they get it. The film doesn't frame this as tragedy. It frames it as occupational reality. Private detectives don't get permanence. They get moments. Fact 8. Violence in Harper is random, not climactic. When Harper gets hit, it's sudden, No warning music, no dramatic buildup, no payoff. The violence feels inconvenient, like an interruption to thinking. That's intentional. The film refuses to make violence meaningful. It's not heroic. It doesn't solve anything. It just hurts, delays, and leaves bruises. Harper doesn't fight to win. He fights because someone decided thinking was dangerous. Fact 9. The mystery matters less than who suffers solving it. By the end, the case itself feels secondary. Money moves, people lie, truth surfaces. But the emotional residue stays with Harper. The film subtly suggests that solving the mystery doesn't restore balance. It just exposes how broken things already were. Justice here is incomplete. Harper doesn't fix the world. He just prevents it from getting worse, temporarily. Fact 10. Harper is a transitional character in American masculinity. This film sits between eras. Before Harper, detectives were dominant, confident, untouchable. After Harper, detectives were cynical, damaged, morally compromised. Harper stands in the middle. He's ethical but exhausted, capable but unsupported, principled but alone. He represents a masculinity that still believes in doing the right thing, even as the culture begins to laugh at that belief.
Fact 11. Harper keeps going because stopping would mean complicity. Harper knows the system is rigged. He sees the money shielding the guilty. He sees truth traded for convenience. He sees justice softened into compromise. So why continue? Because quitting wouldn't be neutral. It would be agreement. Harper's persistence isn't optimism. It's resistance, quiet, exhausted, and stubborn. Fact 12. The film treats truth as a burden, not a prize. In many detective films, truth liberates. In Harper, it weighs down. Every answer exposes another wound. Every revelation confirms someone's loss. The truth doesn't heal. It clarifies how broken things already were. Harper delivers truth the way a doctor delivers a diagnosis. Necessary, uncelebrated, often unwelcome. Fact 13. Women in Harper see through him immediately. Harper's charm doesn't fool anyone. The women he meets understand him faster than he understands himself. They recognize the loneliness, the fatigue, the self-imposed distance. Some sympathize, some manipulate, none idealize. The film refuses the fantasy of the detective as irresistible. Harper isn't seductive, he's legible. Fact 14. The ending refuses closure on purpose. When the case concludes, nothing feels finished. There's no emotional release, no restored order, no personal reward. Harper walks away as he always does, with answers in his pocket and no place to put them. The film ends where it began, not because nothing changed, but because this is how the job always ends. Fact 15. Harper's real victory is remaining himself. This is the film's quiet triumph. Harper doesn't get rich. He doesn't get love. He doesn't get gratitude. He gets something rarer. He stays intact. In a world that constantly pressures him to cut corners, look away, or cash out, Harper doesn't. That's the victory the film allows. Fact 16. Harper quietly bridged classic noir and modern cynicism. Before Harper, detectives were mythic. After Harper, they were broken. This film stands between two eras: the old noir hero who believed justice mattered, the modern anti-hero who doubts it ever existed. Harper still believes in doing the right thing, but he no longer expects it to work. That tension became the blueprint for future detectives. He's not cynical enough to quit, not naive enough to hope. Fact 17. The film predicts a world where ethics become inconvenient. In Harper, morality isn't attacked, it's ignored. People don't argue against Harper's ethics, they work around them. That's more dangerous. The film foresaw a world where decency wouldn't be outlawed, just made unprofitable, inefficient, and isolating. Harper doesn't lose because he's wrong, he loses because he's slow in a fast, careless system. Fact 18. Harper's loneliness is professional, not personal. Harper isn't lonely because he failed at relationships, he's lonely because of what he does. Truth creates distance, integrity makes people uncomfortable, consistency exposes hypocrisy. The film suggests something unsettling. Doing the right thing too often means doing it alone. Harper accepts that cost, not dramatically, but permanently. Fact 19. Harper endures because he refuses to become efficiently corrupt. The world around Harper is efficient. Deals are made quickly. Truth is softened. Problems disappear quietly. Harper is inefficient. He asks too many questions. He follows loose ends. He refuses shortcuts. That inefficiency is framed as moral friction, the thing that slows corruption just enough to matter. Harper doesn't fix the system, he resists it one case at a time. Fact 20. The final truth. Harper is about integrity without witnesses. This is the most important fact of all. Harper isn't about solving crimes, it's about choosing who you are when no one is watching. Harper isn't rewarded, he isn't celebrated, he isn't remembered. He simply remains. In a world that benefits from forgetting, that quiet endurance is the film's final statement. Harper isn't a fantasy of justice, it's a study of professional decency in a world that no longer values it. About doing the job right when doing it fast would pay more. About holding the line when no one's clapping. About integrity that survives without validation. If this documentary made you see Harper differently, if it made quiet morality feel heavier than heroism, if it stayed with you longer than expected, subscribe now for more deep-dive film documentaries that explore the unnoticed ethics behind cinema's most restrained characters. Because the most honest stories aren't about winning, they're about not becoming careless.